Welcome back, everybody. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about how to do the Rocket Loon Fireball attack at Town Hall 17. I'm going to go over everything in this video, from what buildings you want to prioritize with your Fireball, how you're going to get the Fireball to land where you want it to, where to use your King and your Queen, where to use your Minion Prince or your Royal Champion, depending on what version of this army you want to do, how to allocate your spells to which parts of the army. So let's go ahead and dive into the video. So to start things off, we are going to go over what you want to prioritize destroying with your Fireball in terms of greatest priority to least. And I'm going to just talk about 5 or 6 buildings specifically. And I'm going to explain why these things are so high on the list of priority, because that will help you guys understand why you need to focus these things during the Warden charge or with your Fireball. So let's go ahead and get it started. First and foremost, it's going to be kind of a 3-way tie for first place. Well, 2-way, 3-way tie, depending on how you look at it. The 2 Fire Spitters and the Clan Castle. Now, the Fire Spitters will have enough range to where they put your Unicorn and your healers at risk. They also have enough range to where, let's say if you put your Warden down here, this Fire Spitter is going to be attacking your Warden for a long time, right? Your Warden's going to have to clear all of these buildings in this area in order to get to the Fire Spitter eventually, which is going to make you have to use way too many spells to keep him alive. And then you won't have spells when you need to get them, or when you need to keep him alive further into the base. The Clan Castle is another priority target, because if you aren't very careful with your poison spell, or you don't have one, this can cause an already time fail risky attack to slow down even more, right? That's kind of a weird way to say that, but that's what I mean. It will slow the attack down so much more. So Clan Castle is definitely a huge priority. The next on the list is going to be the Monolith. This has enough range to where it's a little bit like the Fire Spitters, right? It's going to be doing damage to your Warden from a great distance and a lot of damage, and it's going to make you have to use a lot more spells to keep your Warden alive, and because of that, you're not going to have spells for later on when you need them in the raid. And then the last, and honestly, almost a tie between the Monolith and the Town Hall. I do think the Monolith is a little bit scarier. It does more single target damage. The healers will stay safe from the Town Hall if you're Warden charging, but it's obviously still a fantastic target. So now that we understand the priorities, let's understand how to launch our Fireball and get it to the land where we want it to. So let's go ahead and dive into that. All right, so let's talk for a little bit about how to get the Fireball to land where you want it to. So now that we've talked about the highest priority of buildings on this space specifically, now this is just going to be an example. Let's just say we wanted to Fireball this poison tower. We're going to do this a lot. So obviously this isn't the greatest Fireball in the world on this base. I think you'd rather hit the Fire Spitter, but this is just going to be to teach you guys this example. One trick that I like to do, kind of a mental trick, is decide, first of all, now that I know my target, 1, I know my target, 2, where do I need to put my Warden that's going to be the easiest to get my Fireball to land there? Probably like down right over here somewhere, right? And then 3, I like to draw an imaginary line perpendicular to where the Warden tower and the Warden is and the tower there. And I know that basically all of the defenses on this side of this line either need to be destroyed through rocket balloons or the Warden charge, or invisible when I launch my Fireball, right? And if you look, you can kind of start to come up with a plan as you put your Warden down. All 3 of these buildings can be invised with 1 invis spell. I'm going to redraw that circle so that it makes more sense. All 3 of these buildings can be invised. These 2 buildings can be. This building will have to go down, or we need to put our Warden a little bit more to the left or something, right? This building needs to go down, and these can be invised. So what we can do is, I'm going to put my Warden a little bit to the left, and I'll just kind of show you how this plan looks in person, right? And then I will launch my Fireball after I've placed my 3 invises. I'm going to destroy this building really quickly just to kind of show you what this looks like in practice, right? So let's get everything off the screen here, and we will just go ahead. I'm just going to invis these 3 buildings after I destroy one with the rocket balloons, and we're just going to show you what this looks like in person. Right, we're going to take that 1 building down, and the Tesla there is not a big deal because I can, it's going to be in that invis area anyway. Boom, easy as that. And obviously you need 2 Quakes to get a Ricochet Cannon if it's maxed. But you can see I was able to kind of quickly draw that line. Oh, I just whacked my hand cam. I do that all the time. quickly come up with a plan because I drew that line and I knew which defenses needed to be taken care of through destroying them or invis spells. And then I was able to kind of do that quickly. Now, this is something that takes a little bit of time. I remember when I first started doing that little line trick in my head mentally when I started a raid, it took me a little while, but after you do it a whole bunch, you can very quickly like just, okay, that's a group of defenses I can invis, that's a group of defenses, that's a group of defenses, so I need to take care of this and this, and then I'm done and I can fireball. So it's just something that's going to come with time. So now that we've identified kind of how to get your fireball to land on an easier target that's maybe a little bit towards the outside of the base, let's talk about one that really matters. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to come up with a plan to fireball the fire spitter that's right here in the middle. Now, the reason I'm choosing the fireball or the fire spitter is it will take care of 3 of the 4 or 3 of the 5 hard defenses that you want to prioritize. It's also not super in the middle of the base like the monolith is, so it's less risky for my warden. You have to outweigh, or you kind of have to think about the difference between the value of the fireball and the risk to your warden dying during the thing. And right, there's so much more that you have to go through if you want to get your fireball to land on that monolith. So let's go ahead and come up with a plan for this. Now that we know what our target is, right, we're going to fireball this fire spitter here. I'm going to draw my little line, and keep in mind, it's actually not necessarily like a perfect straight line because of the warden range. So it's going to be more kind of like a weird angle, probably even more so than that, but this is just to be safe. Let's come up with our plan to invis, and we only have 3 invises, keep in mind, so you can't just invis all of these at once and go. So let's find which buildings we can take out easily with rocket balloons to make our invises a little bit easier for us. So the warden charge, I'm going to put the warden down here, right? And the warden's going to be responsible for this building, this building, this building. We can rocket balloon and destroy this archer tower and this wizard tower, and that will leave us with invising these 3 buildings together and these 4 buildings together, and then the next closest thing should be that fire spitter. That's the goal with this attack, right? To be able to do this quickly is going to take practice, and this is something that you have to just do over and over and over again. To be able to identify what buildings you need to destroy quickly and which buildings you need to invis quickly is just something you're gonna have to do a lot in friendly challenges or in Legend League a lot. So don't get discouraged if you can't do this as quickly as I can. I've been doing this Rocket Loon Fireball attack since like April, basically all the time. And this has definitely been my most used attack since then. But let's go ahead, put this into practice and see if we can get that plan to work. So first things first, I'm going to put my warden down. Got a Coco Loon. Let's put the healers down with him. He's going to be responsible for that little compartment there. I'm going to use a skeleton spell when he gets closer to that single inferno so that I know he doesn't have to worry about it, right? Let's go ahead, and you need 3 balloons to kill a wizard tower and 2 for point defenses like archer towers or cannons, if I can talk. Okay, so we got 2 there. Let's go ahead and put our skeleton spell down now. And we're going to have the warden deal with that. And as soon as the single inferno goes down, we're going to invis our buildings, right? Because we want to get our fireball to land where we want. And we're going to kind of time this to where we invis right about when that dies. Bam. Really good fireball. We get rid of those 3 defenses right off the bat. It is really easy and not as complicated as you think to come up with these plans if you break it down and do it in this simple format. And then the more you do it like this, the more quickly you're going to be able to do it. So this is just to show you guys my thought process slowly broken down, expanded so you can see every little aspect of it. God, I need to quit whacking this camera. I've got a new mount. This mount's kind of broken. I've got a new mount coming in the mail, so hopefully that will be here soon. But let's go ahead. We're going to talk about how to start the next phase of the attack after your warden has launched a fireball. All right, I understand that we're going to go over a lot of information today, but stay with me. I believe in you guys. I trust that you guys can be pros with the Rocket Loon Fireball attack. Now, this little sheet that you're looking at here is going to help you understand the timeline of how things work during the attack. So obviously the next phase of the attack is going to be using your siege barracks or siege machine rather, and almost always, 99.99% of the time, it's either going to be the Flame Flinger or the Siege Barracks. If you can get Flame Flinger somewhere without it having to take too much damage or without having to worry about it too much, Flame Flinger, 100%, that's going to be the best machine for you. If there's just way too many mortars and ground expos or fire spitters or the town halls outside, like, and it's really hard for you to find value with your Flame Flinger, you can absolutely use the Siege Barracks, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in depth later. But this is going to help you guys understand. Obviously, the warden you're going to put down right at the start. You're going to use some rocket loons throughout the entire raid to kind of help him get where he needs to go. And you can kind of funnel the warden in the direction that you want to go. Like just for example, like if I wanted to, I could put like a baby dragon right here after I rocket loon a few things over here and maybe encourage my warden to go to the right after he launches the fireball instead of the left. But again, I don't really care if he goes to the left or right on this raid. The next phase of the attack phase is going to be determining which siege machine you can use and when you're going to use it. Now, obviously, if it's a flame flinger, like over here, we can get pretty good value with the flame flinger right here. I will just have to, as soon as this archer tower dies, use a few rocket balloons right here to get rid of that mortar, and then it's good. Or you can even choose to take 2 or 3 shots from the mortar onto the flame flinger, and it will still get more value than most of the other siege machines, and it still sets a good funnel because it's going to still get rid of like a lot of these defenses over here. So that, as soon as you put your warden down, you're going to have about 10 or 15 seconds of downtime when he's dealing with just trash buildings. And that's when you want to look, okay, I want to put my flame flinger here, or I can't use a flame flinger. I'm going to have to use a siege barracks, but I'll show you how to use the siege barracks later. Anyway, next phase of the attack, right? So we put our warden down. He's walking in this direction. We're going to start looking and eyeballing around the rest of the base. Okay, obviously I can't put a flame flinger on this side. There's way too much over there. I can't really put a flame flinger on this side. There's 2 expos and the town hall. Can't really do that. Okay, let's go ahead up here. As long as I distract or kill that mortar, or then the flame flinger can get a ton of value over here. So that's what I'm going to do. And then you put the flame flinger down, right? Obviously testing for traps and stuff. So that's phase number 2 of the attack. Let's go into phase number 3. All right, let's talk about phase 3 of the attack, which is going to be deploying your king and your queen. But in order to understand when to do this, we kind of have to talk a little bit about the fireball really quickly. There are 2 main reasons that I see that are the most common reasons for why people fail this attack. One is because they try to multitask way too much before they've launched their fireball. And 2, their fireball doesn't go where they want it to, and their warden will end up dying really early on in the raid, or they don't get the value with the fireball that they want. So let me give you guys 2 very helpful tips on what you can do to prevent that from happening. One is going to be, don't put your heroes down until after you've launched the fireball. Just don't do it. Don't multitask too much or more than you're capable of paying attention to, right? And then the second thing is going to be, I see a lot of people make it so that their warden is locked onto a defense when they launch their fireball. Now, let me tell you why you want to do everything in your power to avoid this. Let's pretend we want to fireball this poison tower here, and we've cleared all these trash buildings, right? Because there's no angry jelly on our warden, and let's just say that we invis or kill all these buildings here, all these buildings, this one's dead, all these buildings are invisible. And then our warden is walking towards this poison tower because that's the next closest building because all these trash buildings are dead or whatnot. If you launch your fireball and you get rid of this building, after that, the next closest building is going to be clear over here, like this multi-archer tower or something, right? And the warden's going to walk really, really deep into the base. At this point, there's several heroes and a ground expo and a town hall that are all going to be firing at your warden, where if you can avoid it in any way, try to launch your fireball when your warden is attacking a non-defensive structure, because then if the building he fireballs goes down, he's still just going to be distracted by this building here and he's not going to be moving anywhere. And you don't have to worry about him not being safe. So if you can, save some of these trash buildings so that you can, especially the high health trash buildings, right? If your warden's attacking like this building here, that's a good time to be like, okay, let's put our invises down and let's get going, because he's going to sit here for a little while no matter what, and then he's not going to walk clear into the middle of the base. All right, I know that was a really long intro to the 3rd phase of the attack, but let's pretend we got our fireball to land right on this flame flinger, and we take care of all of these buildings right here. And because of our warden charge, we have also taken care of all these buildings. So this is kind of the funnel that was set. And if you remember at the last of my replay last time, my warden started kind of going to the left here towards the town hall, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. As soon as you know which direction your warden's going to head, immediately you should be like, when he's far enough away, right? Immediately you should be like, okay, I'm going to put my king and my queen on this side. I'm going to have them charge in the middle. Now, you have a few funneling troops like Valkyrie, Baby Dragon. You can funnel some of these things and then wall break here so you can get your queen to like launch a really sick earthquake boots right here so they can get access to everything in the middle. But almost always, once I have set a funnel like this funnel here with my warden and he's walking one direction, as soon as he's far enough away, I will almost immediately put my king and my queen on the other direction, because I know that there only is one direction that they can head, right? I know that they can't walk to the left because there's literally no buildings over there. I'm going to have them go to the right and get them into the core is kind of the plan. Now, if you cannot find value with your flame flinger, this is where the siege barracks is going to come in. You're going to use your siege barracks to complete the anti-funnel for your king and your queen. And you're going to use that kind of on this opposite side here to destroy these buildings and get your king and your queen to go mid. You want your king and your queen to go mid. That's why the earthquake boots are so important with this, is because it will give access to your queen to just absolutely wreck the core of this base, because the core is going to be the thing that you struggle with the most on this attack. And because of that, you either want your warden to take care of the core or your heroes to take care of the core, and it doesn't really matter which. We kind of take care of half the core with the warden here, and then we're going to take care of the other half with the king and the queen. Let me go ahead. We'll do one raid up to that point right now, and I'll kind of show you guys what this is all going to look like up to this point, and then we're going to talk about the minion prince or the royal champion with the rocket balloons next. All right, we're back. I don't know what happened, but my camera froze. So we're back with I was like right in the middle of the raid too. So we're going to just treat this raid kind of like we have with the plan up to this point, right? Put our warden down, Coco Loon, 5 healers. We're going to go to the other side, test for traps, put the flame flinger down. As soon as this archer tower goes down, I'm going to use some rocket balloons to get rid of that mortar. And then as soon as the gold storage gets down on the other side is when I'm going to put my skeleton spell down for my warden. Now let's get that mortar down. Okay, we're going to put it down now. That way I know that it has enough time to go up. We're going to put a couple archers just to clean up behind this flame flinger as well. And we shouldn't have to waste any other spells now because I placed my, I did the timing of this really well, right? Okay, we get our fireball off. We're going to find out which direction our warden's going to head before we start to put our king and our queen down. And then I'm going to end the attack after we kind of start the next phase of the attack. That way, oh, we might actually be going right this time. Which is fine. Not a big deal, right? Well, he outranges that archer tower. I didn't realize that. Makes sense. One thing I do like to do is rage my warden before I have to look away. That way I know he's not really going to go down, right? So I'm going to do this. We're going to put our queen and our king here. With maybe a baby dragon. That way I know my queen will kind of end up going to the middle there. Let's go ahead and put a wall break. Okay, again, I like that I raged my warden up because I know he's not going to go down. Let's go ahead and pop the earthquake boots now. And let's pop the queen ability. And we're going to put the extra earthquake here. Oh, I thought the spiky ball hit the town hall. Never mind. Okay, let's put our headhunters down here because all of the heroes are in this area. We're going to put our last wall breaker down. Hopefully that can get like something, right? And we're going to rage the queen up here because... oh, we lost our warden. That's okay. You can kind of see this base is kind of crushed, right? We're just going to put the minion prince down. That way I can show you guys this would still 3-star. And I'm going to lead my minion prince with the rocket. This is something I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about next time. But once this goes down, I'll launch my ability. That's a really good ability there. And we'll start to put the kind of the cleanup and everything else down. We'll put these 3 random loons down. And yeah, you can kind of see this base is crushed, right? We're going to just invis this so I know that the warden or the minion prince isn't taking the damage. And then we just got cleaned up basically from here. Now... let me go ahead. We'll break down the next part of the attack, but I just wanted to show you guys what this worked. Obviously, if I'm not having to talk and explain things a little bit, I'll try and pay attention and keep my warden alive. But that's kind of the basis of this attack. Now, I'm still going to triple, correct? Yep. Okay, we're good. Let's go to the next phase. All right, I'm on the replay of the last raid that we did, and I want to show you guys there are going to be 2 ways that you do this last little phase of the attack, and it's going to be one with the Royal Champion or one with the Minion Prince, and you're going to do them a little bit differently. If you're using the Royal Champion, by the way, both versions, honestly, the Royal Champion is probably even better, but I have the Minion Prince max, and I want to use it, so that's why I'm using the Minion Prince. With the Royal Champion, basically, you're going to want to put her down in the area that is going to be the greatest threat. Pretend my warden's still alive. That's going to be the greatest threat to your warden. So I'm going to literally put my Royal Champion right here, because she's going to get rid of the ricochet cannon, the archer tower, and those are like the 2 biggest things left. And then she'll even help get rid of other things, right? My queen is going to be raged up here. She should be able to kind of break through walls and get this kind of stuff. And the flame fire spitter's not even pointing in that direction. So you're basically just going to use your Royal Champion in a way where it's going to take the biggest load off of your warden for the back end of the base, right? That's the thing. And you want to, obviously, if you want to pull your warden out of the base, you can put your Royal Champion like right here to kind of pull him out this way. But most of the time, I don't like doing that. I like the warden to just be on his own. So put my Royal Champion here. I'm going to get rid of like the scariest little area with the rocket spear for my warden that's left. Then I'm just going to use the rocket balloons where I need to in order to clean up. If you're using the Minion Prince, obviously you just want to like not fight the sweeper, right? And you're going to use some rocket balloons, almost like you would the druids with the Super Witch army. Just every handful of seconds or so, you're just going to put 1 or 2 or 3 more rocket balloons in to stay ahead of him, to soak up the mines continuously so that he can kind of work his way through and then use his ability when he's going to get like the most amount of value, right? So like when he's standing right here is when I used his ability and it got pretty much the rest of the defenses. And that's kind of what this looks like. Now, I understand that this is a lot of information, and that's why I'm taking this attack today into Legend League, and I'm going to do this live and kind of show you guys in Legend League at the thing, right? How to do this like when it matters. So let's go ahead and we'll hop into some Legend League hits and put all of this stuff that we've learned into action. All right, like I said, I am going to be taking the Minion Prince with me, and I'm taking 2 Quakes into Legend League because you don't really need 3 like you would in hard mode. I was practicing hard mode earlier. And I probably won't include all 8 attacks from Legend League, by the way, because there's probably just going to be way too much. Okay, so let's go ahead and identify. Fire Spitters are right here. Monolith is right there. I still think that I want to Fireball literally the Fire Spitter itself, and I'm going to put my Earthquakes, 1 like right here and then 1 kind of over here so that it kind of gets the most amount of value, because I need 1 Earthquake to hit this Ricochet Cannon, but I need both to hit the Clan Castle. So path of least resistance, obviously going to be this bottom area here. We're going to put the Warden down, all 5 healers. I'm going to start looking. Can I put my Flame Flinger anywhere and get value? Honestly, I think this is enough value on this side of the base over here. I'm happy with that. Even if it only gets that 1 compartment, those 4 buildings, that's enough for me, because the Fire Spitter is going to get it after that, right? Let's go ahead and use a couple of rocket balloons here. Yep, that's why you use... Oh, we actually got it with 2. All right. Let's use a couple here as well. Maybe we can get that down. And again, I'm fighting the Fire Spitter, which I really do not like to do. And I'm also going to be locked onto a defense after this goes down too. So, invis. Boom. We get the CC, we get everything. Oh, I don't know what's happening to my Warden right now. We're going to rage him up. Ah! You know what? I probably should have used rocket balloons there. Okay. We do get pretty good value. I need to know what direction my Warden's heading now. I don't know if he's going to go down. Okay, he is. And so we're going to have our heroes go up this way, right? That's kind of the plan. I don't have any more rages, so we're actually going to put a couple of skeleton spells out there to distract the Monolith. So I know I don't have to deal with the Monolith doing this. And then we're going to have another Valkyrie go up that way. Okay, the Warden can actually just deal with that by himself, so we're kind of happy with how this is going right now. Okay, King's heading into the middle. He's going to open up that whole area there. Let's just pop the Earthquake Boots now. Okay, we're going to invis the Warden now that the Monolith is targeting him. Okay, perfect. And I actually I'm going to kind of try and save my Warden with my Minion Prince. So let's pop this now. We save the Warden. We do it. Nice. And then we're not fighting the Sweeper in this direction either. And we should be good this raid. Warden's going to be helping the Minion Prince out. We just need to take out that... Oh, okay, we do. Fire Spitter and the Multi-Archer Tower are the only scary things left. Let's help the King out and wall break him into that compartment there. Oh, we're actually walking out. That's unreal. Okay, we're good. We are 1 for 1 today. All right, so you can kind of see on that last raid, I did kind of call an audible a little bit there to use my Minion Prince in order to help keep my Warden alive. And obviously, stuff like that on the fly is going to happen all the time, right? So you just got to kind of think on your feet. My Warden's going to die. What can I do if I can do anything to save him? Anyway, let's keep going. I feel like the plan on that last attack worked pretty well. I would rather have had my Warden go to the right. Maybe there's something I could have done to funnel him to the right, but it worked out pretty well, right? So let's go ahead and get into the next attack. Ooh, okay, so we've got Fire Spitters kind of facing in opposite directions. Probably what I'm going to do, I want to highlight that again. I'm probably going to have my Warden come from this angle and Fireball the Fire Spitter right here, because that will get, wait, 1, 2, 3, oh no, it will not. So I need to Fireball like this builder hut there. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to look for value with a Flame Flinger somewhere if I can, right? So let's go ahead and put the Warden down over here, because I don't want him to deal with the Fire Spitter the whole time. And this way he'll kind of avoid them both. And I'm actually going to put a baby dragon right here just to clear this building. That way I know my warden will hopefully stay down more instead of going up. Hopefully the baby dragon can get that before. Wow, that building has literally no health. Okay, let's get rid of this building with some rocket balloons. That way I don't have to worry about it. And then we'll get rid of the archer, or the air defense. That's the name. Now, I want my warden to go to the expo and then the gold storage, ideally. Okay, well, we're doing this. Okay, that's a really good fireball, obviously. Let's raise the warden up. He's getting kind of a little hairy situation here. We got a lot of defenses targeting him. Maybe we'll put like 1 or 2 rocket balloons just to help maybe do some damage. I hope that the warden stays out. Oh, we draw the poison tower. That actually was sick. Okay, now we're actually going to use my siege barracks here, king and queen, and we're going to put a couple of skeleton spells up in that direction. Oh, wow. That was I'm hoping that I can get that monolith with my warden. Pop the earthquake boots now. Let's pop the giant arrow and other stuff. This monolith should go down. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Now, where do I want to put my minion prints? There's no sweepers or anything. I don't see anything there, so we should be fine to not have to worry about that. Where's my queen going? She's headed outside of the base. So probably what I'm going to do is just have my minion prints kind of come from this angle here. And we'll just pop a juicy ability right there. That should basically cover everything. Let's just go ahead and freeze the royal champion. We'll also freeze this, and then we can invis our warden and rage him as well to keep him alive. And this plan worked out really well. You can see this base is crushed. Nice! 2 for 2. Working out really well so far today. You see, even put this into practice and it works. I realize that doing these hits live it's a lot of phases and steps to kind of do all at once, and so it's hard to explain quickly, right? But obviously, this is the base that I just raided. I decided to fireball this multi-inferno tower because it's going to get rid of 2 of the real high priority things, right? And 2 of the 3 most high priority things, because the town hall and the monolith are just under these, and this also is going to get a bunch of tier 1 stuff too, right? Now, after that, I kind of draw my line, right? I draw my imaginary line, and I think to myself, my warden's going to be starting over here, so obviously he's going to handle kind of a lot of these defenses. I just need to rocket loon that. I thought about maybe doing that, but I thought I could just invis that later. So then I just kind of invis here, and I invis here, and that's pretty much it. So that's kind of how you come up with the plan quickly. That's the imaginary line that I use or whatever. I also invis the... Actually, I think I invis right here, and I actually get the rocket loons to take care of that air defense. So that's what that ended up looking like. And then, obviously, I could see the ground mortars and the ground expos, and there really wasn't a lot of value for a flank flinger anywhere. So I just decided to use the siege barracks right up here, just to make sure that my heroes go towards the middle and they don't ring around the town hall and take a bunch of damage and then just don't get anything, right? So that's kind of how I came up with that thought process. Let me see if my army for the next attack is ready. It should be. If it is, nope. Okay, I'll be right back with this when this is done, though. Just wanted to show you guys that. All right, let's go into the next attack and see how we do. What an odd... Man, if I can just fireball that fire spitter. 1, 2. So if I get that... Okay, I'm trying to come up with a plan to where I don't have to put my warden down, maybe. Let's get this. Of course, there's a Tesla there, always. Wait, that didn't really go down? Okay, we're going to put 1 regular balloon, because that should make it go down. Okay. Okay, that should be a very sick fireball. Okay, what direction's the warden heading? Let's find out. I really, really hope he heads up. Or down, I mean. This is going to be so close. Okay, please head down. No! Please head down now. No! That's not what I wanted. Is this worth to rage my warden? I want that monolith down. Like, the monolith is so scary. Okay, we get it. We get it. Okay, now what do I... King, queen. Siege barracks up here. Baby dragon. Okay, I'm just paying attention to my warden. Really don't want him to die. What the heck? These little air things are gonna wreck me. Oh, really? Sent my minion prince right into a freaking bunch of mines. Oh, I literally swagged my minion prince. Oh, warden's dead. Yeah, I'm gonna switch back to the royal champion after this. We have a chance, maybe. No way. No way there's no chance. Well, there is a chance. We're actually going to 3-star this. I'm going to switch back to the royal champion after this. This is just, there's no way this is better. You guys, oh my gosh. We got kind of lucky this raid, but yeah, we're gonna. That's definitely the one weakness of the minion prince, right? Holy cow! I can't believe we tripled this. All right, well there you go. Sometimes it works out. Right, let's do one more raid. I've switched to the royal champion. You can see, man, if you get double black mines to hit your minion prince. I even tried to lead him, but I had to use so many rocket loons to get that fireball off. We got the 3-star, which is obviously important, but yeah, you can see the one huge weakness of using the minion prince right now, which is black air mines just absolutely wreck him. All right, let's go ahead and go. Pull my pen up here. Okay, so I think in terms of a fireball, we can see where the fire spitters are facing. I want to fireball the fire spitter, obviously, and I'm going to put my warden kind of like right here so that we can eventually deal with the monolith fairly easy without having to deal with all of this stuff at the same time. I might have to deal with the queen on my way there. It looks like, just from a quick glance, I'm probably not going to get much flame flinger value. Actually, that's a lie. I can. Okay, let's put my... Yeah, that's really good flame flinger value, actually. We'll take that. We're going to put one rocket balloon here just to make sure there's no Teslas. But we're going to try and fireball the fire spitter there, yeah. Okay, flame flinger will get that. Let's oh, we're gonna have to just rage. Really don't like raging much, but okay, that's a good fireball. Flame flinger's still going really good. We lost a healer, I think, but what do you do? Okay, we get the queen. Warden's going to keep heading in this direction. Maybe we will actually just break our king kind of into this area. Yeah, I mean... Oh, I dropped my skeleton spell. That was not very smart. Okay, let's pop this. Really want my king to go into the middle. Okay, well, I guess he forces the queen to the middle, which is okay as well. All right, I guess what do you do? And the royal champion might actually have to be the one that gets the town hall, unfortunately. Yeah, we're going to send the royal champion in right now. Oh, wow. Actually, got wrecked. Hopefully, the royal champion will get that single inferno. Perfect. That's like the last scary thing for my warden. King is just doing his own thing in La La Land over here. Holy cow. Let's rage the warden, keep him alive. Oh, that's not the Valkyrie. Yeah, this one's crushed too. All right, we'll put the poison on the king, sure. Okay, we got this one. You can see the Royal Champion. I think the Royal Champion is just so much better than the Minion Prince. Holy cow. I didn't think it was this drastic a difference, but man, it feels so much better with the Royal Champion. She could really just tackle any part of the base you want her to from the angle you deploy her. Yeah, and like I said, right, that phase of the attack, I just put the Royal Champion at the area where I felt like the defenses would be the most threatening to my Warden, which was the Town Hall, those scatter shots in the middle, and that single Inferno, and we crush it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of video. It takes a little bit more effort to kind of plan and come up with the phases and things like that for this attack, but I will see you guys next time.